Hello and welcome to this tutorial on how to make a multiplayer game. It's just the basics really. I'm not gonna actually make like a full-on game, but I'm just here to show you what to do to get started with this really easy tutorial. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna make a new project that's in 2023. It doesn't have to be in 2023, but I'm gonna make a 2D and I'm just gonna name it, uh multiplayer test. Okay, and I'm just going to create the project and see when it opens. Okay, as you can see, I created the project here, and it's just an empty scene called main camera, and all I have in my project is the normal packages that come in and scenes. Okay, so what we're gonna do is go Window, Package Manager. Okay, and then we go into Unity Registry. And as you can see here, if you don't see multiplayer here, no, sorry, it's called Network for Game Objects. If you don't see this here, you can just type in, you can just come here to install package by name, and then all you have to do is do com dot unity dot netcode dot game ob sorry game objects. Okay, and when you do com.unity.netcode.gameobjects and press install, it's just going to start installing that code for game objects. And this is not the only thing that we're going to have to install. Okay, and see you when it installs. Okay, and as you can see, it is installed, and what we will have to do here and is also install multiplayer tools for some extra help with the netcode for game objects. And when you see multiplayer tools, just click install, and if you don't see, you can just do plus add package by name and add com.unity.multiplayer.tools, and it will install as well. Okay, and as you can see, multiplayer tools is now installed, and now we can finally get to doing this stuff. So what I'll have to do here and add create empty and call this network manager. Sorry, manager, and all you have to do is add the network manager script on this. This is just from network for game objects from the package. Here what you'll have to do is add a player prefab. That's nothing right now. And here I have network prefabs list. You might have just network prefabs where you can just add a game object in. But I have a network prefabs list, and we'll get to that a little bit later. And here, what we need to do, okay, is select the transport. Okay, I only have Unity transport, but there's other ones like Unit transport, which you'll have to look into yourself on Chrome or on Google or whatever you're using. And you go onto Unity Transport, and everything's done here. And let me just go for the Unity Transport. Uh, Most of this is just heartbeat timer, connect timer, and max connection attempts is how much attempts you get to connect. 60, and you have here you have disconnect timeout ms. And here in the debug simulator here, you can have ticker delay. If you add it to maybe 10, your game will be delayed a lot, like 10 seconds, I think. Let me just go back in network manager here, and everything here is how it should be. Here you have start host, start server, and start client. Host is like, let's say you're playing Among Us, yeah, and you click, well, if you're the developer of Among Us in Unity, yeah, and someone clicks start host, yeah, you make kind of a lobby, yeah, and you add and you make it able for people to find that lobby and play it. Okay, and client is just the people that join in, and servers just for mass games. Let's say I think Fortnite uses servers. I'm pretty sure they do. Well, as you know, they're from Unreal Engine, and I can't really tell you what they do there. And here you have here connection approval, and that means you can ask the host if someone can join, and that's basically everything. And I have a network prefabs list. You won't have this warning if you have network prefabs. So here, what I'm gonna do in assets, I'm gonna create a new folder and call it uh, networking. And here I'm just gonna create a netcode network prefabs list and call it just list. Oh, call it lost. Let me just rename that to list. Okay, and now in the network manager, we can just add in the list onto there. Used to work like that. And now all we have to do is add a game object into the network manager and into here. So all we can do now is create a new folder here and call it prefabs to make it into here. So you create a 2D object sprites square, and I'm just gonna call this a player and add the player name tag onto there, and that's really everything. And now you can just put that into prefabs, delete this here, and go into networking list, lock this here, add, go into prefabs player, and just add the player now. And now all I have to do, and if you don't have network list, all you have to do here is click plus and add the player into there. And now in the player prefab, all you have to do is add this. And I just forgot one more thing. Here, you have to add a network transfer. No, not network transfer. Network object. Okay. I wouldn't recommend touching any of these because last time I just took this one away and nothing would work. So I recommend not really touching anything there. And here also, you may not have all of these if you're not using 2023, but say you might only have 3, 4, or 1, whatever, but it's still the exact same network object. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is, if you just play the game, yeah, and click start host, it should spawn in. So let's just test that now. Okay, so now we have just blank screen here really, and all we have to do here is click start host. And when you do, it should spawn in there. You see player clone with the network object here, and those are just some balls. Is spawned, that means if it's spawned, it's local player. That means if you have two devices, is local player is basically the one that you're controlling your player, not the other person's player. And here is owner is basically the same thing basically. And we have some observers there. Player clone client ID 0. And that's basically everything. And all I'm gonna do now is add a simple controller for WASD, and that should get us all working. Okay, so now all we're gonna do for the script is I'm gonna create a new folder and call it scripts. Okay, and go into it, create a new C# script and call it controller. And I'm just gonna open that now. Okay, so I'll just open the script and we're just gonna do this quickly. So I'm just gonna add in here a quick public float and call this move speed and make that equal to 5. And just an update, we're gonna do if input dot get key, right? Key code. Ooh, and key code dot d. We can just do okay, and then here we're just gonna do transform dot position. Okay, plus equals vector tree dot right. Okay, like vector tree dot right multiplied by move speed. Okay, multiplied by sorry, uh, multiplied by time dot delta time. Sorry, just added in a semicolon there. Okay, and then we can just do else if input dot get key code dot a. Okay, then we do transform dot position plus equals vector tree dot right still multiplied by minus move speed. Make sure that's minus move speed multiplied by time dot delta time, and then we can just keep doing else ifs, input dot get echo dot w. I can do again, just copy and paste this and do here instead. Oh, not go there. I copy paste that. So command copy, paste it, and then here we just do vector tree dot up, and that's all right. Except here we just have to do it normal. Again, just copy paste the whole thing, and instead of W we do S, and all we have to do here is just put minus, and that's our code done. And if you guys are wondering what editor I'm using, instead of Visual Studio I'm using JetBrains Writer. So I'm just gonna save that and see you in Unity. Okay, and as you can see I'm back in Unity, and I'm just gonna go into the player prefab here and put in the controller here. Okay, and as you can see, if you actually build now with the buttons, and you see that it won't work because you have to have something called a network transform on it. And here you can pick what to do, the rotation, the scale. So I'm just gonna turn off all the scale and just leave it like this because we're only gonna be doing vertical and horizontal movement. And here you can actually see, if you build now with the host and client buttons, you would see that actually would not work. And you must be thinking, why wouldn't it work? Because you'd see that the host would be updating on the client, but the client wouldn't be updating on they host, because you have to have something called a network client transform. And if you try and add that here, you see that's not there, because we have to actually make the script ourselves. Call Create a new C# script, call it client client network transform. And when you do that, just open the script and I'll show you what to do there. Okay, an inclined network transform, and all you have to do now is save it and see you back in Unity. Okay, now we're back in Unity, and in the player, all we have to do is add in a network client network transform. And after you do that, all you have to do here is select the ones you want: the rotation, the position, the scale, whatever you want to do. And now if you test, everything should be working. So in the comments, if you have any problems or questions, you can just ask me. But other than that, thank you, and make sure to save and do save project. And thank you for watching this video. Make Hope it helps. And sorry, I've been stuttering this. I don't have a stuttering problem. It's just thanks and bye.